I have a question for you guys in regards to our topic of the day. Do you believe that TikTok will be banned? It is something that is hitting the net hard. A lot of people are concerned. There are over 170 million US TikTok users currently right now that are wondering the fate of their favorite platform, TikTok. And you might just be one of them. So we want to lead you guys with some true value in regards to what you possibly should be doing right now, just in case this ban actually does move forward. Today, we are discussing the potential ban of TikTok and more specifically, help you get prepared for the ban and its aftermath. So, I want to first make sure that we introduce our first time guests to our YouTube show on the Social Roundtable. Welcome to Daniela of Ellis Marketing. How are you doing, Daniela?
Good, I'm good. There's a snowstorm outside. I'm in Michigan, so I hope everything will be fine in terms of my connection, but so far so good.
Awesome. Well, I hope that you're staying
Good.
a little warm, and not having to do too much shoveling despite the snowstorm. Hopefully, you have somebody else that can take care of the snow. I try to tell my daughter that she should be outside shoveling with me when we have those snowstorms. It never works. It's usually just me, but
How'd that
hopefully
go?
she gets some help. And how are you doing today, Megan?
Very good. Hey, that's awesome. I am wonderful. I'm not rubbing in your face, but I have a beautiful day outside here in Florida. So, but I'm wonderful. I'm excited to talk about this.
Yes, yes. And I'm so glad that we have Daniela joining us because I'm not at active. I'm not active at all on TikTok, to tell you the truth. I've tried it. It wasn't for me, but I do happen to stay informed from those that report certain things that they are doing on TikTok and things that they are discovering and trying. And Daniela has always been very forward thinking and sharing tons of information in regards to TikTok, her experiences there. And I definitely would like to hear a lot more of your insight in regards to how you've been utilizing TikTok and what this can potentially mean for the future of your content strategy, because I think it's going to be very relative to those that are in the same boat as well. So this is the Social Roundtable. We are also moderated today in the comments by IG Live with Angela. So please show a little bit of love to her in the comments as well. We're going to be going through just a couple of questions, and we might even be able to take a few from you guys. If the technical difficulties don't hit us too hard, we'll see how that goes. But I have two questions, and we're going to start off with these questions. I'm going to lead them right to you, Daniela, our guest. So you get the first answer in regards to this question. Um, what lessons can creators from this TikTok situation, whether the ban is upheld or not, learn?
To not put all the eggs in one basket, definitely make sure that you utilize all the platforms relevant to you, your business, your brand, your target audience, whatever it may be. Another good idea is, I think, to always focus on making the main platform that you're on, make sure that it is owned by your own country. That is a big one. So yeah, luckily for me, it's been Instagram, Meta, but as you said, very active on TikTok, and it will definitely leave a big gap if it goes.
That's an interesting one. I've never heard that one. Make sure the platform is from your own country in a way. I've never heard that one before. Now that might be a little bit hard despite with others that are usually outside the US, because let's be honest, the US likes to play favorites, and the majority of the product that we create, whether social media technology or not, it usually does kind of encompass the entire world. So it might be a little bit difficult for those outside. But I think what you are sharing in regards to where, specifically where that platform or product is created from, we should be paying a little bit more attention to that, because we don't know how those laws might be affecting that platform or service in another country as well. TikTok has been banned before, and it has been banned in India in 2020. That was one of the first and probably the biggest country to ever ban a social media platform, and has never returned ever since. So the US is kind of following suit right now in regards to this. But maybe we should have possibly looked at what happened to India and actually learned a couple lessons and put that into practice, perhaps. Now, I'm going to share the same question to you, Megan, in regards to What can creators learn from this situation involving TikTok and a potential ban?
There's so many lessons. One that I think is maybe not obvious, but like definitely everyone should go and do if you have content on TikTok is to, wherever you're posting content, to make sure that you have hard copies of that somewhere else, like you have the original somewhere, which maybe that means you have to, upgrade your storage of iCloud or Google Drive or Dropbox, whatever it might be. But it's definitely a worthy investment so you don't lose all that hard work, right? It takes so much time and effort to create content over a long period of time. So definitely having all of that backed up. And then maybe a not so obvious one is to, I completely I lost her. I lost her. I'll let you know what it is when it comes back to me.
Well,
Oh.
I'll give you a moment to collect your thoughts in regards to it, because there's something I wanted to share in regards to this idea of learning lessons. And um, Daniela kind of stated the idea of not putting all your eggs in one basket. And first of all, I 100% agree with that, because I think that's making a big mistake if you focus on just one specific platform. You never know what could occur. And even if you are able to build out a strong following, whether it's, 10,000, 100,000, or even greater, you do not own that following. The platform does. So that's something that we have to always remember and keep in mind. Now, with that being said, there is one type of collection of users that you can build that you actually do own. And that's why I want to emphasize an idea of building a mailing list. I think whether you're on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, no matter what platform that you are on, I think if you actually put a little bit more focus and attention in regards to building out a mailing list, as well as the respective followers and subscribers of that platform, it will put you in a better position. You're not going to get 100% of your followers or subscribers on one platform to also be 100% of your subscribers on your mailing list. But if you're still able to get some form of percentage, whether it's 5, 10%, 25, even 50% of your followers and subscribers on one platform to join your mailing list, that puts you in a much better position to do a lot more in regards to the future. And I want to share a quote here that I found. Let me see if I could actually put it on the screen, because this quote actually really resonates in regards to this idea that I wanted to kind of portray to you in regards to focusing on email. Let me see if I could get it here on the screen. If it works with me, let's see if we can get it going. The quote here, do you guys see it?
Yes.
All right, cool. The quote: never forget social media is for reach, but email is for revenue. And I think a lot of people don't really realize that, because when we think about social media, we think about how many followers we can build, how many subscribers we can collect. And it seems sexy when you get that high number of followers, and especially when we start to compare to others, because it's, in a way, it's easy to do. We don't see how many people are joining your mailing list unless you specifically go out there and tell people. But when it comes to the followers, we see that when you visit the person's profile, we see how many subscribers somebody collects. But that doesn't necessarily translate to money. But when you're talking about a mailing list, you're now able to reach into somebody's inbox and sell them something over a long stretch of time. That's a long relationship that does not depend on an algorithm. And I think that's really key. Emails don't depend on algorithms. Whereas with social media, if you post today, right now on Instagram, there's no guarantee that that post will be seen by 100% of your audience. But if you sent out an email, there are certain conditions where they might not see it at that right point in time, or maybe you might be in a spam folder, but it does reach out to them with a much higher likelihood that they will be able to actually see that content. So I think that is really important for us to kind of focus on the idea of putting email as a priority in regards to just building an audience, a community, by any means necessary. I'm going to go back to
Yes.
you, Meagen, and see if that idea had actually came back to you in regards to this question.
It did, it did. It was actually the not so obvious one is to really treat your followers like humans and remember that you're not necessarily building a following, you're building a community. So when you get new followers and you have people engaging, to take time to actually appreciate them, connect with them, because the stronger your connection is, then if this does happen to you and whatever platform it is that you're on, you're going to be able to get them to go over to another one much easier because they care to continue to follow you.
That's a good point because you built that relationship in a way, right? That now they care to follow you on different platforms, which is not easy to do. Let's be very serious. That is not easy to do. Even, I've had my struggle trying to do that from Instagram to YouTube. It's much harder than it looks, but it's not impossible. I always say you got to kind of step out of the creative box to figure out ways to connect with your audience in various ways. It's not just a one answer solves it all type of solution. Thank you both for the answer to that question, because I think a lot of people don't realize that, despite the fact that this is now happening in the US, it has occurred before, just in different countries. And maybe we slept on the idea of actually protecting ourselves from if this situation was to occur. And now it's happening. And I think maybe it's because it's in the US, it's even more hard hitting the fact that 170 million users on TikTok could wind up you could almost say unemployed if the majority of them are creators. When that time comes, I believe it's the 19th of January, when the time comes and they don't have access to TikTok to some certain degree, you could say that they are now unemployed creators. But maybe this was avoidable. Maybe there were other alternatives and options that they could have probably taken to help put them in a better position. Hopefully what we shared today might actually help you moving forward now that you are on other platforms. Whether TikTok stays or goes, it hasn't been decided just yet as of the time of this recording, but you never know what might happen. Was there anything else that anybody else wanted to share in regards to that question before we move over to the next one?
I mean, there are so many lessons learned, honestly. There's so much to talk about. I feel like that could be its own episode.
Yeah,
Possibly.
it definitely could.
I could definitely see that. We might have to have a part two. Before we go to the next question, I want to remind you guys we are on YouTube right now and things are a little bit different. This is not IG Live where we normally tell you to tap the link at the top. What I'm going to tell you to do is to tap the link in the bottom. It's in the description right now. I have a link that'll lead you directly to an automation on Instagram where you can get more information about this episode, about other previous episodes, as well as bonuses and offers, as well as a link to our broadcast channel. And it's also an opportunity for you to get a link directly to our guest, Daniela, Ella's Marketing Services, where you can find more information from her. Actually, let me see if I could actually do this really quick. I did plan this, but then we were having like a bunch of technical difficulties, Daniela. So please excuse me. I was supposed to show this while you were introducing yourself, but I'm going to show it now. I want to give people an idea of what you would find on Daniela's page if you were to see her on Instagram, because I definitely believe you should be following her on Instagram. So check out her page if you see it here right now. This is Ella's Marketing Services. Please go ahead, show some love to Daniela. Her link is in the bottom of the description. So go ahead and tap that, as well as the link to myself and Meagen and our moderator IG Live with Angela. So make sure that you show everybody a little bit of love if you want to get a little bit more information in regards to what we do, what we specialize in, and more. If you're getting any value from this conversation, please don't forget to subscribe and like this video so that we can continue bringing you more just like this. And we're going to move over to our next question. I'm going to pose this one to you first, Meagen. So this is our last question in regards to the topic of TikTok being potentially banned and what you should be doing in preparation for it. With that being said, my question is, which social media platforms are best positioned to fill the void if TikTok is banned? And how can we start preparing to make that transition?
Okay, I think the obvious one would be Instagram because it's very similar content types, very similar creators, and usually people who are on one do create on the other. Maybe it's just not their best work, it's maybe repurposed, or maybe it's a little bit different. Maybe it's not their number one focus, but a lot of the times it's easier to do both of those. However, they're completely separate beasts when you really dive deep. But I'm going to say a surprising one would be LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is starting to really, really take off right now. And so where they're on this path of, you have an opportunity to grow right now. So if you want to take that content and repurpose it onto LinkedIn, obviously it's a little bit different what they like there. So I mean, doing some studying to understand what formats and how to, add the copy that goes to it instead of the normal caption on TikTok, whatever it might be. But figuring, starting to just slowly do some there can really be helpful, and you might just surprise yourself because LinkedIn has been doing a lot of transitions with more videos and more longer content like that, less blog style.
It's funny that you mentioned LinkedIn because I'm hearing a lot more people talk about LinkedIn in a way of sharing video now. Like now they started really focusing on video lately. I think because of the influence of TikTok, and look at the situation that's occurring now. And now you're stating that that's possibly one that people should flock to. It's really interesting to see how tables have turned based on the situation that you know they find themselves in. How about you, Daniela, in regards to potential best alternatives for people to consider if they have to move away from TikTok?
Absolutely. Yeah. So, I mean, I would agree with Instagram just because the audiences are fairly alike. However, reflecting on what your account, what you are about, what is your content about. Let's say you are a very local focused business, then Facebook is where you should be. Because it's surprising sometimes, I feel like, because a lot of us are not even thinking of Facebook anymore. I opened my own local business along with my social media management agency in July, and Facebook is just kicking it off. It's absolutely crazy because of the groups, because everybody goes on Facebook when it comes to local things and events and all the things. So if you're local, definitely Facebook. LinkedIn, I would agree with, but really depending on what your content is about. There are a lot about the workforce and corporate and tips on your actual work life, let's say, mindset, even productivity, all of that goes on LinkedIn 100%. But yeah, other than that, Instagram.
Well, it seems like you guys are really surprised me with the surprise platform of choices between LinkedIn and Facebook. I have to admit, I did not see those two coming from you, but you guys brought up some really great points in regards to why people should consider them. Because first off, not a lot of people really speak a lot about them in regards to competition, which I think might be something that a lot of people can actually utilize to the best of their benefit. Um, Instagram, although we all kind of agree with Instagram, we could see Instagram kind of being a very easy transition, which might lead to higher competition. I shared a post today about some of the pros and cons of what might happen after a TikTok ban. And one of them was exactly that. We might get an early surge in the beginning, but after that surge, we're going to be facing a lot more competition. So if we were complaining about reach before, we're going to be complaining about reach all 2025. That is not even a question anymore. So I am a little bit hesitant to say Instagram, but I think it is an easy transition. I'm going to throw in one that's another surprise mention. I'm going to mention YouTube. Now I have to admit, I am not the biggest fan of YouTube Shorts. I've practiced utilizing it, I've tested and experimented with it. It's good for what it is, and I actually don't like it as much because it's so relevant and close to TikTok, which might make it an easy transition. And the reason why I say that is because it's two different audiences on YouTube. When you're utilizing shorts and long form video, they're usually not the same. And that's kind of the audience that you build with shorts. They're very similar to the audience that you would build on TikTok. So I think for an easy transition, shorts might be one that's very easy for you guys to consider. And I think in the long run, if you want to start making money with your content, YouTube is definitely the place to be. So if shorts could be your entryway into that, go right ahead. and you start focusing on YouTube, take all of those TikTok videos that you've been posting for the past few months and years, start reposting them now on this brand new platform on YouTube, and even some of the other ones that we shared today, as in LinkedIn and Facebook. You could always repurpose your content on a new platform, but then try to see where else you can actually optimize and utilize to the best of your ability to make money, to grow your audience, and even, just build out more engagements. So we all in agreement. We say Instagram, but we've also shared like another key platform to consider that I think when you really look at it, according to your situation, the type of business you run, all three might be viable options, or maybe one or two. But I think all of them should be in your consideration of moving forward with um, getting past TikTok if the potential ban does occur.
Can I add a little tip about, it kind of goes back to the first question, but in regards to what you said of, take that content and repost it 100%. There are different websites that you can go to, like Snaptick, Reel.io downloader, which then you can do TikTok also. You can find different websites that allow you to put the link to your TikToks and download it without the watermark. However, back to my first tip about how you should be saving the rough draft of your content in a separate place. You should be saving the content without like the platform's native font. So you should be
Mm,
saving like the actual video without all of the different things that you added within that platform. So any of the closed captioning or any of the specific headlines or text on screen, because these platforms will notice that it's from the other platform.
that's a really
It's not
great
going to
That's
point.
hurt
true.
you
That's
like
true.
awful,
However,
but
I feel like so Facebook especially and LinkedIn, they don't have great font options. So you will have to
true.
add it somewhere else if it's Adobe, if it's Canva, whatever your platform is. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, definitely, so there's definitely creators who only use fonts outside of that platform, which is totally fine. But I'm specifically, I guess, recommending that you don't use a TikTok font on Instagram, like the
Mm,
specific one from one platform to another. I don't know how they know it, because to me it looks very similar, but they know it. And it's not going to be the end all be all, right? Like, don't not do this. Don't not upload your content just because, but just from here on out, think of that.
yeah, I definitely agree with that. So I think we were able to share with you guys some great insight in regards to how to move forward with your idea of how you're utilizing TikTok right now, and move forward in regards to different platforms, how to, when you do figure out which platforms that you want to actually focus on, how to actually plan out to be a better content creator and build an audience that, you don't fall victim to this same situation again. Because we see what's going on with Instagram lately. They're trying to, Instagram and Facebook, the higher ups are playing ball with the new incoming administration, and things are changing greatly. So you do not know what may happen in the future. So, as Daniela stated, don't put all your eggs in one basket. You want to make sure that you're playing it smart. You want to work smarter and not harder. And you want to do that from the get go. Do it as early as possible. So, take the information that we shared with you guys today. I hope that you guys are able to best move forward in regards to what may happen in the future in the next coming days. And hopefully it's not as bad as we think it may be. But if it is, take this information that we shared and step your TikTok. I usually say step your grammar. I'm going to say step your TikTok up. All right. All right. We are just about at the end of our live. We do like to play a little game, and I want to make sure that we have time to play our game with our first time guest here on our YouTube stream, Daniela from Ellis Marketing Services. So I'm going to lead off. I'm going to hand off the mic to my co host, Meagen, who's going to host the game.
All right, awesome. So everybody watching this live and restream as well, we'd love for you to vote your options down in the comments. Get to know you a little bit better here. But we'll start off ladies first, and then we'll go to Heston. It's just a simple would you rather game. So I'm going to give you two options and let me know which one you would rather. Would you rather A, lose all of your Instagram stories forever, or B, lose all of your Instagram reels forever?
Tough one, but probably stories.
Interesting. Heston.
I'm gonna go with stories, and I feel like it's because I already lose them anyway. I lose them after
This is
24
true.
hours unless I store it in an IG story highlight, which I never remember to do anyway.
That's what the archive's for. Interesting. It's true. I agree because it's gone in 24 hours, but there's something about stories I just love so much. I think I almost would rather lose my reels just to like have a fresh, clean slate and I can re-upload things. I don't know. Sounds kind of fun.
Yes, definitely. Super fun. Great opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. So awesome. Thank you for that one. We have one more here. I said one more. Would you rather A, post an embarrassing photo of yourself by accident and not be able to delete it, or B, accidentally like a photo of someone that you don't follow but you're stalking?
B, 100%. That's an opportunity too.
I love that. Yes, good outlook. Yeah. Heston, how about you?
I was gonna go with A, but the way that Daniela put it as it's a great opportunity. I might, yeah, I think you've convinced me, Daniela. I was gonna go with A, but I think I like the way that you put that. It makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I'm choosing that as well.
Awesome, awesome. I think I would too. But then when you get so many notifications, I don't know if the likes even, right, like they could be kind of hidden, right? So, and I don't know, it depends on who you're stalking, but I think I'll go with B as well.
I've done this before. It has happened to me before.
Which one?
No, honestly, both. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, to the best of us.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, sometimes you just can't get around it. Sometimes you post on the wrong social media channel. Sometimes you post the wrong image. Um, it's a way of life. That's how I like to look at it. Especially if you are more of a creator than a consumer. You're just entertaining those consumers in various ways.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much for those questions, Megan. We are pretty much at the end of our IG Live. Unfortunately, due to some of the technical difficulties, we weren't able to add on a few other ideas that we had and we wanted to do here with Daniela. But hopefully, when we get this running properly, smooth, and it's going to happen, we could bring Daniela back and invite her to another topic. Hopefully, it might be something TikTok related. If TikTok is around, we'll see in a few days, or something else that I know that you guys would get a lot of value from, because she posts some great information and insight that, once again, if you're looking to find her, go ahead and log in, or not log in, but go ahead and check out the description. You will find links to all of our pages, including Daniela's Ella's Marketing Services on Instagram. I'm assuming it's the same account on other platforms as well, Daniela.
No, so I don't know if people will see that, but I purposefully, intentionally said Daniela at Ellis Marketing on here because I'm a newbie to YouTube. One of the lessons learned that I'm going to put into practice and taking action this year is starting a YouTube channel. So on YouTube, it's Ellis Marketing.
Awesome. So if you guys are looking for her on YouTube, I'm going to make sure I add that as well. I'm going to take notes to add that to the description. But if you're looking for her on YouTube, it is Ella's Marketing, that you can see on the screen with her name label. Make sure to check her out there as well. But also on Instagram. Go ahead and follow on TikTok as well. You'll be able to follow her until they cut the cord. Is there anything else that you would like to share with the audience today, Daniela, that they can look forward to along with your YouTube channel?
Well, thank you so much for having me, despite the technical difficulties. But I would be thrilled to be on with you again as I'm diving into YouTube.
Awesome.
And I can't wait to learn from you.
Yes, yes. I'm very excited that you're joining here on YouTube. I want more creators on YouTube. I really do. I love YouTube. I'm still learning myself. And speaking of another person starting on YouTube as well, Megan, my incredible co-host, what are you up to? What do you have to share with the audience as well?
You guys can find me here on YouTube with Megan Harriman is my handle there. Social media with Meg was taken, and it's like it's a dead account. I'm like, what? Anyways, then you also can find me on Instagram with just social media with Meg, TikTok, Threads, and come hang out. Hit me up in the DMs if you have any questions about TikTok or any other social media related content or business monetization.
Awesome. So make sure you do check out the description with both of their links. I'll update them with everything else that you just shared as well. Shout out to our moderator, IG Live with Angela. You could also find her as well, not just on Instagram, but also on YouTube as well. I'm so glad everybody got a YouTube handle and is showing YouTube some love. I love that. If you guys are looking for more from myself, you can find me on social.varsity on Instagram, Simply Social Varsity here on YouTube, as well as on other channels, including Threads, which I am so in love with. Threads. It's such a lightweight and just fun platform to be on. Not much thinking or strategizing and all of that. It's just so much fun being there. But you can find me there, just kicking a breeze. And we will be here every Monday, except for next week, because next week is a holiday. I'm right on this. I'm right this time, right, Megan?
You're right.
Okay.
Yep.
I said that last time and I was way too early. So next Monday, it is a holiday, but we will be back all Mondays afterwards, unless it's a holiday, and we will let you guys know. The best way for you to find out if we are live or not, if there's an episode coming, is to tap that link, the top link in the description, and that will lead you to an automated message from my chatbot, and it'll share with you the broadcast channel that we update constantly with what we are doing behind the scenes, what's upcoming, who's upcoming on our show, and more. So look forward to having you guys join our broadcast channel. Check out some of our previous episodes on this channel. And once again, thank you so much to Daniela for joining us as our first time guest on the show. Woo! Thank you so much for being with us in the technical difficulties. And we will definitely have you back on an episode in the future on the Social Roundtable. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. And see you guys in the future. Later, guys. Have a
Thank
good
you so
one.
much.